we live? It's not telling me... We're live? Okay. Super weird. This might be a weird one, guys, if you are watching, because my stream stuff seems to not be working correctly, which happens from time to time, but welcome. This is the Autoblog live stream. My name is Eric. I am the multimedia producer here at Autoblog, and I am joined by Autoblog news editor Joel Stocksdale. What is up, Joel?
Hey, not too much.
Nice. We were just talking about how it's really warm outside to the point of maybe being too hot already.
We're never satisfied in Michigan.
True, very true. Very true. But I think it's just because Michigan never lets our biology settle into a temperature for very long. So yeah. It's like we're it's in our genes somehow. Cars, what's up, Cars? Cars says, what is this? Have you never seen Circuit Superstars? If not, I think there's a chance that that you will enjoy this. It's a really cool, really fun game. It's in alpha right now on Steam. It's in Steam early access. It's very, very cool.
When you read out "what is this," my brain immediately wanted to complete it as "what is this? A building for ants?"
A building for ants? Alright, I forgot to put the stream on the website, as I do from time to time. I knew I was forgetting something too. So Joel, how's your spring been so far? Have you been up to anything exciting?
I've been kind of busy the last couple of weekends. I got a dining set for my kitchen.
Nice.
Let's see. I got a new rug for my living room.
Nice. It's always good.
There's some other things. Been doing some things to my VW Beetle.
Oh, such as?
So, for anybody wondering, I've got a 2013 VW Beetle Turbo with a 6-speed manual. I recently added an oil catch can, which basically it goes in. So to explain, on any car, one of the things they have to deal with is pressure coming from the crankcase, because stuff heats up, stuff kind of vaporizes, and it all gets under pressure, and you need to relieve that pressure somewhere. For a long time, cars just vented any of this excess gas from kind of the oil pan area out into the atmosphere. Obviously not the greatest thing in the world for the environment.
Right.
So, later on, they developed basically what's called the positive crankcase ventilation valve tube thing that recirculates those fumes and gases back into your air intake, so that it's just burned up in the engine bay and comes out cleaner through the tailpipe and stuff. So you're not just spewing these weird like oil vapors and things right out into the atmosphere. It's coming out as less harmful carbon dioxide.
Okay. I mean, less harmful's good. It's much better than more harmful.
Now, that worked pretty well on carbureted cars and most fuel-injected cars for a long time. But one of the downsides, if you have a direct fuel-injected car like my car, like the Beetle, is that those oil vapors and stuff can kind of start to build up on your valves and things in the intake tubes, because whereas on like carbureted and sport fuel injected cars spray the gas in just before the valves. So when the valves open, all that stuff goes into the cylinder. Direct injection fires the fuel directly into the cylinder. So none of that gasoline can wash past the valves and kind of clean off any gunk that starts sticking to it. So you can get so you can get buildup. What this oil catch can that I got does is it takes those vapors that come through the PCV, the positive crankcase ventilation, gives it a chance for those vapors to kind of condense in this chamber, the catch can, and then anything else passes on into the intake tract. And basically the idea is to keep it from causing buildup, which can cause the engine to run not so great. And so that's a really long explanation of what this thing that I got that does.
Yeah, that's awesome. How much work was that to install?
Well, I didn't think it was going to be that hard.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of things that conspired to make it trickier.
Yeah.
One of them being that the company that I bought it from did not provide very good instructions.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
So that didn't help. And then my other big issue was the bracket to mount the whole thing wasn't quite right for my car, so I had to cut pieces off of it to get it to fit. And then I also, of course, needed to go get a new tool to put the whole thing together.
Yeah, that's classic. It's like, all right, I'm finally ready. Nope, I need a new tool.
Yeah, so one of those things that I thought was going to take an afternoon ended up taking
a couple afternoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like it was worth it though. It sounds like that's a cool project.
And you know, it's something to keep me busy.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, let me catch up on the chat here. Cars says, the other day on Sea of Thieves, I killed the Shrouded Ghost. I don't know what that is, but it sounds really cool. That's awesome. Gamer King's here. What is up, Gamer King? Welcome. Lord Baltimore, what is up? Welcome. How's it been going? And the Bjorkley. Welcome, the Bjorkley. Also, guys, I know this is really weird, but give me like 60 seconds here. I just got a text message from my landlord that I need to respond to. And I will tell a story of why in just a minute. So yeah, give me a second here.
I wonder if we'd get copyright struck for
humming a song. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably legally possible, but I don't know if they're going quite that hard yet.
2,000 years later. From the Bjorkley. Welcome to the Autoblog live stream with the intense texting action of Eric Meyer.
You guys, I'm sure you guys are gonna love this story. of why.
What could he be typing? It could be literally anything. Maybe he's telling his landlord to stuff it. He can't kick him out. He's gonna leave of his own accord.
Oh man.
The Bjorkley asks, the whole stream is Eric's hair? Yes, it is just his hair. It's his hair and a pause screen. This is what you all wanted. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Okay, I sent that text message. I might have to send another one here in a second. So, very long story short, a very large bird got into my house yesterday, and it got into my house like through my walls and like through my ceiling. And it was very stressful and weird.
How large are we talking?
So it was some kind of, I don't know anything about birds, but it was like a crow of some kind. It was like the large black and like the huge like the beak is like very like large and intimidating looking. It was not one of the small cute ones that you see all around Michigan, unfortunately. And so I heard this thing. Basically, I heard it. There's like kind of a weird opening underneath my gutter. It's kind of like on my overhang, in my backyard, like right above the door. And there's kind of like a weird opening there. It's an older house and it has siding. It's not brick. So it's like a weird opening there. And yesterday morning, I heard this crazy scratching. And I was like, oh no, I think some kind of animal got into that. And so, you know, that was stressful, but I didn't think too much of it. I was just like, look, it'll probably just leave, whatever. Then, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes later, I heard just an intensely loud, like, scratching right above me. I live in a 2-story house, and so I'm on the bottom floor here for the stream. As you can see, the kitchen's behind me. I'm in kind of my living room area, and I heard right above me just the loudest scratching insanity, and I was like, oh god, like, that really stressed me out. I was like, there is for sure something that sounds large and chaotic inside my walls. So I texted my landlord. I texted him about actually a totally different thing earlier in the day, because I noticed just a piece of siding had fallen off in the wind or got torn off. I mean, that happens. Not the biggest deal. It's just a piece of siding. But I texted him. I was like, yeah, that happened. And so then this happened after I already texted him. So long story short, I heard this in my ceiling. I'm like, oh god. Super stressed. And then, but again, it like got quiet for like 20-30 minutes, and I did not think anything of it really until I'm sitting right here in the stream, and my furnace room is kind of right in front of me to the right, and then directly to my right is the back door. I see and hear this crow fly out of my furnace room into my glass door like 3 or 4 times. It was so... I don't know if you guys have ever heard what a bird sounds like inside a quiet house, like not outside. Just like them flapping their wings. It's chaotic and crazy. It's way louder than you'd ever imagine in a million years. And then, and on top of that, this bird was trying to kill himself, just trying to fly out of my glass door. 4 times in a row. So just bang, bang, bang. So I'm like, oh my god, there's this giant bird in my house. So he eventually flew back to my furnace room. So I don't have like a big bird phobia, but I do not like them in my house. Like, it's very scary. If you've never had a bird in your house, it's kind of a scary ordeal, especially if it's a giant one like that. So I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get this bird out. So long story short, it took the next hour 15 minutes of my day to try to get this bird out. I was armed with a hockey stick and a tennis racket. I did not harm the bird. I was just trying to move it and protect myself. So, because you never know if a bird's gonna attack your face. I don't want a bird attacking my face. So during this, when the bird was in the room, I texted my landlord and I was like, hey, like, there's a bird in the house, just FYI. Like, I'm pretty sure this is how we got in. And until just now, my landlord had not responded to that text message at all. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm dealing with this on my own. But he was just responding, and that is why. But I'm pretty sure, to wrap this not very exciting story up, I'm pretty sure I found exactly where the bird got in from the outside, and I was able to seal it up. I just put like 70 layers of duct tape. Because I mean, what else am I gonna do? But it's worked fine overnight. It worked fine this morning, so I'm sure that's gonna be fine. Then my landlord said that he would be here over the weekend to take a look and fix it up. But yeah, do not avoid birds from getting in your house at all costs, chat. It is the least fun thing in the world. It is so stressful. It's so stressful.
So this reminds me of a couple of animals and places that they're not supposed to be stories.
Yes. I think I know of one in particular.
Probably.
It happened during the podcast.
Yeah, the squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that one.
Quick recap. For about a year, when the weather was nice, so like I tend to leave my back door open so that my dog can go in and out as she pleases. Because she has a tendency to want to go in and out frequently, as opposed to being outside for a long time and then coming back in. She likes to be outside for a little bit, come back in for a little bit, go back out for a little bit. It gets kind of tiresome going back and forth to the door. So I tended to just leave it open, and for a long time that was fine. But then last summer, I started getting this squirrel getting into my house, just walking right in. Which, I mean, obviously it was able to. The door was open.
Right.
But
gutsy squirrel, though. That's a gutsy move.
Yeah, I mean, it's a house that probably smells like dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least to some extent.
Yeah, especially to a squirrel.
Mm-hmm. And I chased it out a couple times. Well, it took me a long time to even realize that it was coming in, because I would just be distracted with work or something, and my dog wouldn't notice because she's deaf and is old and just didn't care all that much.
Yeah.
But like I would occasionally find like puddles of pee that I was starting to worry that there was something wrong with my dog, because I was just assuming that it had to be her, because there aren't any other animals coming into my house. But anyway, at some point I actually saw the squirrel and would chase it off now and then. But it would just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. It was just this determined little booger, even though there wasn't even anything for it to really eat in my kitchen. But it just would always come back. But eventually, like, winter comes and it stops coming, and I figure, in the spring I'll be fine. Nope. started coming back.
No way! This year? Like recently?
Yes.
Oh man!
I was so mad. And like
squirrels.
I would chase it off. I would like throw rocks at it. I would. the damn thing just wouldn't stop coming. So, my parents. So my dad works at a college, and my mom used to work at the Natural History Museum on campus, and they're friends with one of the old biologists at the college. That he's got a big area of property and woods, and as a result has things like live traps and things. So we borrowed a live trap from him, and I set it up in my kitchen and managed to trap the little booger.
Oh, wow!
So, well, and it took a couple of tries to get it in a spot where it was actually going to go. And actually, the day that I trapped it, I saw it come in, and I didn't want to scare it off because I wanted it to hop up on the counter and get into the trap. But I was just watching it and just like, come on, go in there. Like,
oh man, yeah, you want the satisfaction of wow. Wow.
Oh, and I was shouting and jumping for joy when that little thing stepped on the door pad and got stuck in the cage. I was like, yes, you're mine.
Oh man.
So I caught it, put it out on the deck for a little while, because actually the day that I caught it, my food had also arrived right then and there, so I ate first. And, put a couple of trash bags around the cage, stuck it in my car, and drove to a dog park like a couple miles away across Mound Road, which is like a 6-lane road in some spots. Kind of close to an industrial park, and let it go.
Nice. Has it been back since that? Or did that?
Nope.
Nice.
I think I may be free. I mean, it would take some effort for it to get back.
Yeah. I always hear the craziest stories of animals. Not necessarily squirrels, though, but I guess I don't even know what I'm particularly thinking of. But I know I've heard stories of wildlife, like if you catch and release, it like has to be like miles and miles and miles away, or else they'll somehow find their way back. But I don't really get how that works.
Yeah, and one of the things, like, I can't imagine any reason it would come all the way back. Like, I'm sure it'll find some place.
Yeah, way more convenient. Yeah.
Like, it'd be a lot of effort for it to come all the way back.
Yeah. I hope that struggling, because I now realize that the noise I heard above me was this idiot bird trying to like fly in my walls, which is impossible. So I assume that's enough. Like it's not gonna try again.
Yeah.
Because I can only imagine that's super uncomfortable. And also, once it got into my furnace room, it didn't even try to get back into. Because I saw where it got out of like my wall into my furnace room, and it didn't even attempt to get back into it. So I assume that must have sucked for that bird. Like, why wouldn't it? You're a creature of flight, bird. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna come back. And crows are actually, they're really smart.
That's what I heard.
They remember.
Oh, okay, good. Good, I hope I put the fear of God into this crow.
Oh, I think it was probably plenty scared of just its situation. It's like, I don't like this, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, crows are really smart. They remember things, they can use simple tools, they can, they've been known to teach their young crows how to do things. Like, crows and ravens are actually really cool birds.
Man. I believe you, but they're also really scary birds when it's just you and a raven inside of a house.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they are big, and like, you thought it was noisy just with the with the flapping and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, because you've heard crows outside.
Oh yeah, if this thing started cawing, I would have peed my pants. I probably would have left.
Like they're loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have. Oh yeah, and during all of this, just to add to my stress, my dog, I just like put her outside for the entire hour when it was pouring rain. The entire hour, so she's having a blast, just running around my backyard, soaking wet.
Oh, my dog would have been quite upset. She does not like to be wet.
Oh yeah, my dog. It's weird because like Melody, I think is kind of scared of the rain, but only until she's like playing in it, and then she's all about it. Oh, Trey, what's up, Trey? Welcome. And I missed Jalal. If you're still around, this game's called Circuit Superstars. I'm sorry about that. But Trey says, can you play this game with mouse and keyboard? I don't know if you can play it with a mouse necessarily, but I'm pretty sure I'll try to play a round on keyboard for you. Let's see here. You can certainly go up and down with keyboard. I am unsure if you can play this game with keyboard now that I'm trying it. I'm not sure what back would... Oh, there we go. It's back. Where can I see what the controls are? Oh. You know what? We'll just try it. Figure it out. Sure. Keep in mind this game is still in alpha, so it's got a long ways to go before it's like the final build, but okay, it might take me a second, Trey, to figure out how to, and everyone, to try to figure out what the go button is, but figure it out. T3 True Designs says, I wish there was a game like this on mobile. Agree, this would be an amazing mobile game. I am, okay, so space equals Y. That's interesting to know.
AI drivers weren't having any of it.
Yeah. Tab, no. We're gonna figure this out. Oh! It's just forward. Okay, yeah, so you literally just use the arrow keys here. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm just doing this just literally with the arrow keys. Forward to go, back to brake, and left and right for left and right. So yeah, definitely doable.
Yeah, there was for a while, I don't know if it's still on app stores, but there was a Micro Machines racing game that was a little bit like this on mobile devices. And actually was eventually released on home consoles.
Nice.
It was free on mobile. It was a paid game on consoles. I played it for a while. It was pretty fun.
This kind of game does absolutely have mobile written all over it. Thank you for the follow. Oh, was that Trey? It was Trey. Thanks for the follow, Trey. That is appreciated. Yeah, it believe it or not, it's not WT3 True. This does not use the WAS scheme. It's the actual arrow keys. Weirdly. I'm assuming in the future, once the game gets closer to a final build, they will give people the option to edit that. But as of right now, yeah, it's, or maybe it exists now and I just don't know where it is. But yeah, as of the default, it's the arrow keys, believe it or not.
I will say this game is a lot prettier than the Micro Machines game.
Yeah, this game has an amazing aesthetic. But I think I am going to go back to controller, though, just because that's what I'm used to. But it can't be done. Yeah, T3 says I'll play so many hours of this on mobile. Yeah, for real, same. X's break. I could not figure out if it was X or B. T3 says, is there a way to add collisions? Yes, but it's not. So there are collisions, but they only happen. I think maybe they're off for if you're not on the same lap. Here I'll do. So I've been doing free play. I'll do arcade mode here. There are collisions though. Generally.
I wonder if that is something to kind of keep people from griefing.
It might be. I think that was just single player though. I don't think that was online.
Well, I wonder if maybe like they're using like the same settings for all race modes at the moment.
Yeah, could be. But I would like to try online again. We tried online last time, and I think so we played this like the day it came out last time, or close to it. And online was not quite there yet, so I'm interested to try it again on this stream. Trey says, is the game fun? Yes, it is very fun. I've been kind of not taking it super seriously because we've been chatting and telling stories here, but yes, this is very fun. All the cars have a distinct feel. The sense of speed is good. The sense of control is good. Oh no, is this the... Okay, no. Whew! I thought I accidentally went down pit road. During the longer races, there are, like, you do lose fuel and tire traction, and you can pit. So there is that extra element of strategy as well.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Here we go. Oh, so I think that was just a qualifier, maybe?
Yeah.
Just not paying attention. Trey says, I'm gonna need to get this game. Yeah, no, it's fun, for sure. It's fun, it's got a great, like I said, it's got a great aesthetic. Got a great music, great visuals. It reminds me, it's very, like, Nintendo-esque, which, for me, is great. I love that. Oh, Joel! I know what I wanted to talk to you about. Mm-hmm. I got a VR headset. I got an Oculus Quest 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is, literally amazing. Yeah, it's hard to even describe how amazing. I did not realize how far along with the technology that they are, but it is, it's farther than I thought. And, yeah, I cannot recommend it highly enough. In fact, I saw my mom for Easter, which my mom is vaccinated, and also I was still masked up for everybody worried about that. But I brought the Oculus over there, and she loved it so much she literally ordered one for herself. Which is awesome. But man, that thing is so incredible. Half-Life Alyx is unbelievable. All the Star Wars games are unbelievable. Obviously, the sports games are like a lot. Like ping pong is just insane. The putt-putt golf games are insane. VR chat even is insane. When I was showing my mom, I was like, be prepared. This is about to be just a bunch of like 12-year-olds screaming, and that is literally exactly what it was. As soon as we entered a room, it's just a bunch of like young kids just going ballistic in VR chat, all as like anime characters and like French fries or whatever you can be in VR chat. But so cool. I would highly recommend a VR headset to anyone even kind of interested in video games or technology. So I cannot stress enough how much VR is the future. That is a guarantee. I know I've said that on this stream before. I will double, triple, quadruple down. VR is the future, guaranteed, for sure. Super cool.
Yeah, I really want to play Half-Life Alyx really badly.
It is incredible, man. Oh man, it's incredible. It really, your brain is fully tricked into thinking that you are in. So I don't know anything about Half-Life other than the fact that in this game, you're in kind of like a dystopian-ish town, and then you have to go out into the quarantine zone. And the quarantine zone is filled with people with like aliens on their heads that turn them into zombies.
Yeah, those are head crabs.
Yeah, and man, it is scary when those things start running at you.
Oh yeah.
Because your brain tells you, it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, this is just VR, but it's like there's a part of your brain that just can't. It's good enough now where your brain's like, no, like you need to move now. Like, you need to take care of it. Like, it really induces the panic reflex, which is amazing. I mean, that's what it should do. It's amazing. But, yeah, couldn't be any bigger of a fan.
If I'm not mistaken, the city is City 17. And
it might
is
be
a very dystopian place because it's been taken over by the Combine, a alien group from another universe.
Interesting. Do they have like very Iron Man-esque soldiers that like patrol around? Is that the Combine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I've seen them.
Yeah, because I've played Ruby. Yeah, because I played the first Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 2 episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I know basically the main story thus far. There are a couple of Half-Life 1 sort of spin-off games that I haven't played, but the main story I've played through, and it's a lot of fun. And after playing through all the Half-Life episodes, I then became one of those people that was like, okay, when are we actually going to get Half-Life 3? Because
Half-Life 3.
Because, dead serious, episode 2 ends in a monumental cliffhanger.
That's what I hear.
and that came out in like 2005 or 2006, I think. So like, we're at a decade and a half since that cliffhanger. Like, this is why a lot of people have a beef with Valve.
Yeah, which is absolutely fair. And then they release a new Half-Life game, and it's not even Half-Life 3.
Right.
But it's super good. And one of the characters is voiced by Rhys Darby, and the animation is so, like, Rhys Darby is a very unique voice. If anybody doesn't know who that is, I bet you'd recognize his voice. And but the character model does not look like Rhys Darby, and that is extremely weird because the character model is like real enough to where it's like, yeah, that's a person, but then it's like it's Rhys Darby, so it's like, wait, like what's going on here? That's a little weird, but like it is in an amazing way. It just shows how good that tech is.
Well, and I have heard that Half-Life Alyx does actually offer some
closure
tidbits and stuff that support kind of the ongoing story and maybe suggest that maybe there's more coming.
Oh, Okay. Yeah, I've not finished it yet. I've only played maybe like an hour of that one specifically. Just because I've been trying to dip my toe into literally everything possible. But yeah, my mom said I showed her the roller coaster one was the first thing I showed her. And yeah, she said she like got a little nauseous because it was like so realistic seeming. But just unbelievable technology. My only gripe is that it's owned by Facebook and Facebook's evil. But also, if you look too much into it, every corporation that creates anything anyone has ever enjoyed is evil. So like, that's how I try to justify it, but a strong argument could be made that Facebook is more evil than most, and I don't disagree, but you know. It's like you gotta draw the line somewhere. It's like I just try to enjoy things as they are.
So I've got to admit, the fact that Sony revealed like new virtual reality controllers and stuff for PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that they'll maybe be committed enough that maybe, just maybe, something like Half-Life Alyx could be ported to PS5.
I could totally see that happen. I think it'd be insane if they don't do that.
Because that would be an easier and potentially cheaper way for me to get into VR and to play that game than for like upgrading my PC and buying a PC VR system.
Yes, true.
Or at least one day when PlayStation 5s are available at retail price.
Yeah.
But then again, I wouldn't be able to buy the video card hardware right now for me to run VR.
Right, for PC, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
I got ridiculously lucky with when I decided to build my PC. I will say though, the nice thing about the Quest 2 is it is totally standalone. However, you can't get games like Half-Life Alyx on the through like the Quest 2 store. You do need a PC to play something like that. But there are a lot of great games just on a Quest 2, and they are only $2.99. So just for if the chat is intrigued about this and you want to do a little research. But yeah, just to Joel's point, you definitely to play some of the heavier ones like what I get. I got Half-Life Alyx on PC, and I got just another bigger one that I got through PC exclusively that I don't. Oh, Star Wars Squadrons VR is very cool.
Oh, I forgot that.
Big fan of that. Yeah. Big fan of that.
I can see that getting kind of nausea-inducing.
So here's what I found, and this is just me, but from my experience, I found that if the game is either specifically made for VR game or has a specifically made for VR mode, I haven't experienced almost any nausea. Where I have experienced a large amount of nausea, personally, is I did the VR GTA 5 mod, which is a game not made for VR, and not well optimized for VR, and yeah, that made me pretty sick.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was amazing, like it was super cool. Oh my god, I'm getting wrecked right now. Oh yeah, this game does never restart. That is my biggest annoyance about this game. This game needs a restart.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm quitting. This is not gonna go anywhere. But yeah, GTA 5, amazing experience. Like, very cool to see the world of GTA 5 in virtual reality. It's super well done, but it's not optimized to not make you sick. Like, you have to have a really strong stomach.
Yeah.
But it is cool. I mean, it was definitely worth, you know, if you own GTA 5, it's free. You just download a mod. It's like, it's definitely worth checking out if you have a VR headset. But expect to get a little sick. Oh, wait, did I do... I don't want to do free play. Arcade mode again. I really want to, so, despite the numerous very large issues that Cyberpunk had on launch, I still maintain that's probably the best looking game I've ever seen personally. And being the fact that it's in first person, I really want to try to get a Cyberpunk VR mod working. But I started replaying it again. So I played it for about 10 hours and I was like, I'll wait for a few updates to beat it. So I just restarted it over the weekend. I think I'm gonna beat it just normally, and then after I beat it, I am gonna try to mod it or find a mod for it. Because I can't even imagine what it's gonna look like to just look around Night City in VR. That's gonna be incredible. Why does it say I'm in first place out of 11? I'm doing terrible.
Well, you're gonna like if a mod like that comes out, your computer is gonna be having a workout.
Yes. So I think I know there's a way. I've done a little bit of looking into it, and there's a way to do it, but it's not a mod. It's more like a program that uses some kind of like funky AI algorithm to make first-person games VR compatible, and apparently it's pretty sketchy, but it works well enough, and that's good enough for me to want to try it. So I definitely want to give it a try, but I don't want to break my game. You know, I want to beat the game first, so just to make sure I don't break anything. But God, that game's so fun. It's so unfortunate how many issues it had, particularly for console.
Yeah.
Release, because it would have been, if not for those issues, the game itself is so solid, and I know people would have been so much more hyped on it if not for that launch. But I mean, I'm not making excuses for the company. They screwed up, and they deserve the consequences of everyone hating on them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's still sold really well, and
true.
And the company does seem to be trying pretty hard to get it all patched up.
Yes, and that's why I jumped, because they just released the 1.2 patch like last week, and I was like, I think I've waited long, like, because I just think about it a lot. It's so beautiful. Like, man, I want to play it. So I was like, I'm just gonna play it. What am I waiting for? Some magical time when it's like, okay, now it's gonna be the definitive versions. Like, that's probably never gonna happen. So I'm just gonna play it and have some fun.
Yeah.
But I just love that like aesthetic so much, and and yeah, it is just so ridiculously beautiful. And once again, and I said this on PC, I think if you want to play this game on PC, you're fine. Like, you are not gonna see those. Look, let me walk that back. 99% chance you're not gonna see the kinds of crazy. Oh no. Okay, so online still is clearly broken, so we're not gonna do online in this game.
Whoa.
Yeah, that happened last time too. But yeah, you're probably not gonna see the insane bugs that that you saw on console at launch, and especially not now.
I mean, the way I figure it, like, if you've ever played
any Bethesda game,
RPG,
yep, exactly.
Like, you'll be fine. Like, it's probably not going to be any worse than that.
Yeah, totally. And in fact, I'll use a personal example. I played, like I said, I played about 10 hours when it came out, and then I waited. I was like, I'm gonna wait until it's patched a little more. But even in those 10 hours, I saw no significant bugs, not a single one. And instead, I switched to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is maybe the buggiest game I've ever played in my entire life. Played them both on PC, the same PC. So in my experience, the PC version of Assassin's Creed Valhalla was infinitely buggier than the PC version of Cyberpunk 2077. And I think Ubisoft just gets away with it because people expect it.
Well, yeah, because did I mention that I finally finished Fallout New Vegas recently?
I don't know if you mentioned you finished it. I know you mentioned you were playing it.
Yeah, so a few weeks ago, I finally finished the main story campaign in it.
Nice.
And like I was playing it on PlayStation 3, which is, I think, pretty universally considered the worst possible platform for it to be played on. And boy, wow, that game is a buggy mess.
Yeah.
And granted, like, the PlayStation 3 version is the worst one. It has the most issues.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
And the reason I was still playing it was because that particular save file I would come back to every, like, couple of years and play a little bit more. So, like, I didn't want to, like, re-buy it for my PC and then restart because I had a whole lot of time already sunk into it.
Yeah, totally.
But it would freeze multiple times, and I'd have to restart my console, and actually the final boss fight, I had to restart several times because it glitched out and wouldn't complete.
I feel like maybe we did talk about it, because I remember thinking how insane that was before as well, and I still do. That's insane.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
But it was still such a really good game experience that it was like, okay, I can power through these glitches because it's still overall a really fun and interesting game.
Yeah, you can. Definitely a lot easier to look past that kind of stuff when the game is exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Also, hello John Barfclap, and hello Awesome Ninja. What is up, guys? Welcome. Playing some extremely, I was going to say playing some mediocre Circuit Superstars. The game is not mediocre. The game's very fun. I am mediocre at the game.
But you're in first place.
Well, this race, but the next one is what trips me up, I think.
Yeah, something else that I'm excited about, not video game related, but car related.
Yeah.
I've had the email notification that my ECU tune for my VW Beetle is on its way.
Oh! Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a Unitronic Stage 1 engine tune for my car. And stock, my car makes about 200 horsepower, 200 pound-feet of torque. With this new ECU calibration, it'll make about 250 horsepower and about 300 pound-feet of torque.
Oh, wow.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's a relatively significant upgrade. My God.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you're gonna install that yourself as well?
Yeah, so I'm getting it on a little, like, engine computer dongle, and so I just plug it in, press a button, it uploads it, and that's it.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, turbo cars are fun like that, because it's really easy for tuners to crank up to adjust several settings, and then it's making more boost and making more power, and yeah, it's fun, especially for somebody like. So this Beetle is actually my first turbocharged car that I've owned. Well, factory turbocharged car. And it's exciting that you can get a lot of power for not a lot of effort or money.
Yeah. Yeah, that is super cool.
Because my last big power upgrade was for my Miata, and that required an entire supercharger kit that a buddy of mine helped me install over the course of a couple weekends. And that was vastly more expensive and complicated. And
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, Warrior Girl, what's up? Welcome. How's it been going? R.I.P. to the Warriors lately. That is, for anybody who doesn't know, the Golden State Warriors have lost like 7 of their last 8 basketball games, which is not good.
That seems really out of character for the Golden State Warriors, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, very, very bad streak, but I think our boy Steph Curry is gonna whip him into shape. I hope he does. But yeah, they're not doing good right now.
Oh, so when I was touching on not being able to get like graphics cards or even PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but man, do I hate scalpers.
Yeah, they're the worst.
So much.
They are the worst.
Because it was like a couple months ago that I was like, I wonder if any like PlayStation 5s are back in stock, and like I checked basically every like big box retailer, not a single one of them had one in stock.
Jeez.
And like you can't even like pre-order them. They're just out.
That's so dumb. And it makes me so mad because you would think like the corporation should try to put a stop to this, but they have literally no incentive. They make the same amount of money either way. So it's like, oh, well, yikes. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely even sure how much they can really do.
Yeah, true. I guess it's probably on the retailers more so than them.
Well, and even the retailers, because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, I think
all these people have like bots set up ready to just order stuff the second they come online. And
right. I guess for me, I wish they had much better. Like, they gotta find a way to stop the bots. You cannot tell me in 2021 you can't pay some technology company, some information security company, to figure out a way to not let bots order 1,000 PS5s the second they go live. Like, that's just, come on. That's just lazy. Well, it's not lazy. It's probably they just don't want to spend the money to fix it. But so whatever is what's the term for lazy? But because of money, is there one? There should be.
There's probably a word in German for it.
True.
So Warrior Girl is asking why this is the case with PS5 and Xbox Series X. Part of it is just because of the global silicon shortage. That like the companies that are making processors and computer chips and things, they've been running short. They haven't been able to make as many because of the pandemic, and well, a lot because of the pandemic, and also because connected to the pandemic is gigantic demand because everybody's been stuck at home.
Yeah.
So they've been buying things like
gaming
consoles and even cars, because like there are a lot of cars that factories are being shut down because they don't have the computers to put in their cars. I think the Chrysler Pacifica minivan plant shut down most recently.
Wow.
See ya, Borkley. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, have a good one, Bjorkley. Thanks for hanging out. Ooh, Save? Interesting. I love when
Gosh, I think I waved at the screen when I said see you later. And it's like, there's not a camera on me. What am I doing?
Oh, this is awesome. Warrior Girl says things have been great. Things got better for me. Just moved into a new place and I'm loving it so far. Congratulations. That's the best news. That is awesome.
Oh, I remember learning that about the A character with the little circle about it. But it's sort of a yeah, kind of like a I think kind of like a ooh sound a little bit. I learned that when I went to Sweden once.
Nice.
That was a trip to drive Volvos. Naturally.
Okay, this is the race that messes me up every time. Oh my god! I'm so mad. I actually hate this track. And I hate that there's no... Look, sometimes this is like a not super big game yet. If any developers are watching, every once in a while they do. I am literally begging you, devs, please put in a restart. Please! This is insane. Why would anyone continue this? It's like one half-a-second mistake, and I'm guaranteed not gonna even come in the top 5. So it's like, you gotta let people restart. It's infuriating. All I want to do is restart.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
Just get good.
Dude!
Just get good, Eric.
Touche, I guess. Touche. Touche.
I get what you mean, though, about restarts. For the longest time, Gran Turismo games did not have a simple restart button for just a single race. Like, I get that for certain game modes you would not want to have a restart for a particular race, because there are, like, in some games, like championship modes where, like,
sure,
you just have to commit, and like,
sure,
if you screw up, you screw up. But even in like single races in Gran Turismo, there wasn't just an easy like restart button from the pause menu. You'd have to quit out, load to like the main race screen, and like do the whole boot thing, go through the whole start cycle. It wasn't just a quick reset.
Yeah, it's so...
I know what you mean.
It's so frustrating. Or another thing I would love to see is the ability to just skip the qualifiers. They are so unnecessarily long. Just start me in last place. I will be in first place in the first 5 seconds. We're good. But there's just like, it's too long. These circuits are too long. IMO. Just some feedback, just some friendly, helpful feedback. I'm a big fan of the game. If anyone is watching, I'm a big fan of the game. But yeah, that is my feedback. Needs a restart, and I would love the option to just skip the qualifier, or just like let the AI do the qualifier, whatever. Doesn't even have to put me in last place. Just make it random.
I gotta say though, that wreck that you were in that completely screwed up your race was a pretty glorious wreck.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Oh, I like that conspiracy theory. The Warriors might be intentionally losing. Why do you think that? I don't know much about like trades and like the draft in the NBA. Is it so like, will they be able to draft higher if they go lower in the standings?
Bum, bum, bum.
Points earned 54 out of 7. No. Yeah, I'll just do the next one.
Eric, did you ever play Hot Shot Racing?
That sounds so familiar that I feel like I must have, but I cannot think of like what it looks like or what it is at all.
Because that was the one that I got for PlayStation probably like 6 months ago, I think. That it was like it was like inspired by like 90s arcade racing games.
Yeah.
Had like a very polygonal, like simple design.
No, I'm thinking of Horizon Chase.
Hmm.
Which is very similar to what you just described as well. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Hot Shot Racing.
Yeah, you should check it out because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is it available for PC? I assume it probably would be.
I think it is. I think it's on like almost everything. Yep, it's on PC.
Why am I so bad?
It is $20 right now. But I would say it is very much worth it.
You said it's only $20?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick that up for $20. Oh, and also, I got, speaking of $20 games, I picked up Project Cars 2, so I'll be able to stream in VR one of these days.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I gotta say, I did try Dirt Rally 2, which I love in general. Wasn't super impressed with the VR capabilities.
Hmm.
It was very, like, dark and, like, grainy. It didn't look good. It didn't look good. Which is fine. Like, VR doesn't have to, as long as it's smooth, it doesn't have to look great. But this looked particularly, I was like, ugh, this is just not a great look. But I'm very excited. I have not tried Project Cars 2 yet, but I am very excited to.
Oh, so in car news today, probably the biggest news is that Chevy officially announced that it's going to have an electric Silverado.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Got to
Yep.
compete with the electric F-150.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Does it look? Did they have they shown it? Like, does it look cool? Probably looks the same, right? Ish.
They haven't shown it yet.
Okay.
So I don't know.
The Bjorkley is dropping different kinds of O's, but I don't know what those are or how to pronounce them. Unfortunately.
Well, one of those is the first character in Elon and Grimes' kid.
Oh, yeah.
That AE thing.
Yeah. I feel like I could be misremembering, but I think they call him Ash for short, which I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's totally reasonable. I was really worried. I could totally see Elon just calling his child like, come here, E12, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But Ash is a reasonable thing to call a child, I feel.
You know, they could have also just like actually named the poor kid Ash.
True, but I feel like I'm kind of into weird names. As long as it's like, yeah, like as long as you have like a nickname that you can fall back on if the kid becomes like uncomfortable with it. Because kids in elementary school can be pretty brutal, obviously, elementary and middle school, about names. So I feel like as long as the kid themselves has like something to fall back on, I feel like weird names are kind of cool. I'm into them.
I just feel like it's going to be one of those things that's like going to cause an issue with like getting his driver's license or passport or something, or like just like they can't like actually print that character and it causes some error or something.
Oh, that
and,
would
like,
be great.
Problems getting like a credit card or something.
That'd be awesome. I think that might be the case if he was not Elon Musk's child. But he could probably, if they couldn't, I mean, Elon Musk could probably buy the state of California and print him a driver's license if he really wanted to. but fair point. Very fair point.
I'm just imagining like the growing up issues is like Elon's like, here, I will give you an allowance of Ethereum, and he's like, Dad, I just want dollars. Won't you like? Why can't you be normal?
See, I don't know, man. I'm pro Ethereum allowance too. Ethereum's absolutely cruising. I've been on the Ethereum train for a long time. Big fan of Ethereum.
I'm not a huge crypto fan.
Oh man, I'm a huge fan of cryptos that are real. I'm not a huge fan of the cryptos that are memes, such as Dogecoin. But Ethereum's real and Bitcoin's real, and they have like actual real purposes in society. But Dogecoin's purpose is to be a meme, which is fine. Like, I don't hate it, but I would never try to make money off that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that the process of creating the currency is really energy intensive. I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, like, I can get some of the interest in having a currency that is not necessarily tied to like government or something, in the sense that could potentially offer some stability. But on the flip side, it's also like, well, if like the creators of it decide like, no, we're done with it, we're not going to support it anymore, or like I feel like it's not actually necessarily that much more stable than currencies tied to large governments. I mean,
so
like dollars and euros are probably pretty safe bets.
Ooh, strong disagree there, but yeah, I have less than zero faith in the U.S. dollar long term. But I will say I actually think it's much more stable than, well, let me be specific. Bitcoin specifically is much more stable than you might think, just because it's like there isn't really like a creator per se. Like no one could like pull the plug on Bitcoin, which is kind of its benefit. The fact that it's fully decentralized is like everyone kind of owns Bitcoin. You know, there's like the kind of the tech legend who goes by the pseudonym Satoshi, who was like the original, I guess you could say, creator of Bitcoin. But that was 15 years ago. Nobody even knows who that person is, or if it even was a person. There's a lot of speculation that Satoshi was actually a group of people. This is getting very in the weeds crypto, which people probably don't care about. But it's super, if you're interested in that stuff, it's super interesting, I think. But I do think specifically, your energy point is 100% fair. I would never argue that. But I do think it's probably a little more stable than you're giving it credit for. And I think the US dollar and the euro are a lot less stable than you're giving them credit for. I have no faith in those currencies at all. I hope my doomsday scenarios in my brain never turn out to be true, though. But
I mean, I feel like one of the critical things, though, for any currency, and this is just the nature of currency in general, is that people have faith that there is value in it. And, I mean, globally, the US dollar is, like, kind of the, like, there are all kinds of countries where, like, the US dollar is used as the primary currency because it's more stable and has value compared with like the local government's currency.
Totally.
And it's very popular among drug traders because it is a fairly stable cash.
USD or Bitcoin or both, I guess. Probably both.
Probably both.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably acceptance of Bitcoin is not as high, and partly because of technological issues, and also
yeah, totally.
And also the fact that the value fluctuates so much. That's probably hard. Well, as in, it's probably hard to like set prices.
Yes, true.
Because Bitcoin could be valued one thing like one day, and then valued another thing.
Yeah, drastically differently the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that is true. I think my rebuttal would probably be, I see the acceptance of Bitcoin only growing. And what was my I had a second point that I'm now blanking on. Oh, I'm super glad that didn't just penalize me as well, because I just hit that. Yeah, I'm blanking on my second point, but oh yeah, it was gonna be I think in kind of a weird, kind of like abstract way, I feel like Bitcoin is almost tied to, oh my god, why do I suck? Bitcoin is almost tied to like
place.
Yeah, but I just hit that now I have to be in first place by at least
okay, I see.
1.5 seconds. But
it's the delay got me there.
Yeah. So in a weird like abstract way, I almost feel like Bitcoin is almost tied to something more real than even the US dollar is. Just since we abandoned the gold standard, however many, I always forget when, but it was like decades ago. And the value of the dollar is largely, if not totally, based on what, just nothing, our collective acceptance of the fact that it has value. Whereas Bitcoin is like, I mean, it is tied to blockchain technology, and there is like a digital ledger, and like there are like real things there. And it's like, that's obviously an extremely abstract way to like look at anything at all, but I think the argument could be made that it's as real, or perhaps even more real, than like the US dollar.
I'm not really debating that, because like I said, the core thing is that a currency has value because we say it has value.
Yeah, totally. That's across the board, for sure.
And that's just the case with any currency, whether it's a government-backed currency like the dollar that has like printed notes, or Bitcoin. I mean, like, it literally, like, because if you want to get down to it, a Bitcoin is a piece of computer code.
Yeah, I mean, it's ones and zeros. And like, yeah, it's like the same way. Oh man, we're getting yeah, totally. It's like the same way that, like, really, when you break it down, it's like a dollar's just a piece of paper. Yeah,
right.
Bitcoin's just ones and zeros.
Yeah, like that's not really what I'm debating.
Sure.
Because they both have value because we say they have value, and they can be. There's a way of tracking how it's exchanged, and that there are certain amounts of it.
Yes, totally.
But if you really get down to all of it, the amounts of it, it's pretty arbitrary.
Well, the amounts of US dollars pretty arbitrary, but the amount of Bitcoin does have a hard cap. Eventually, all the Bitcoin that can be mined will be mined, and then it'll be done.
But also, someone had to set that cap. I mean,
I don't know. So again, I'm talking. I don't know a lot about this, but I'm not. But I'm not sure if that's true, because I think in instances where people want more cryptocurrencies, they have to do what's called a fork. Like, they can't just... I think for some currencies, they can just add more, but I don't think Bitcoin's one of those currencies. And I think that has to do...
But that initial number had to be set.
But I don't know if it... Because it all has to do with, like, solving ridiculously complex math equations. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just... I'm not as confident as you are. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't know if someone actually did set that cap. Or if that cap just exists because of the rules of math.
I mean, maybe.
But you could... But again, I want to make super clear, I very much don't know what I'm talking about here. I mean, I am...
Right, that is true.
Like,
neither of us are actually experts in this.
Totally. I am just a... I'm a bedroom enthusiast at best. So...
Yes, I like Hoagie's comment. Is this the Yahoo Finance Twitch stream?
Yeah, right? This is my best run of this track so far.
I guess maybe trying to kind of steer things back into cars a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the way Musk is handling the new acceptance of Bitcoin and him hyping up cryptocurrencies a whole bunch as the company buys a bunch of cryptocurrency and starts accepting it as a way to pay for Teslas. If something about that feels a little funny.
See, I
mean, but let me preface this by saying I don't think there would be anything wrong with accepting cryptocurrencies, but I don't really like how Elon is like super hyping up cryptocurrencies on like his Twitter page and stuff right as the company starts accepting it. I feel like that's kind of like trying to pump up the value.
I think I definitely see where you're coming from there. But I guess my rebuttal to that would be that I don't think Elon, as powerful as Elon Musk is, I don't think he's so powerful to significantly affect the value of Bitcoin. I think he's more than powerful enough to affect the value of a smaller cryptocurrency like Dogecoin, which he loves memeing about.
Yeah.
But I don't know... Yeah, I guess it's just... In my mind, there's Bitcoin, which is the realest of the real. There's Ethereum, which is a very close second. And all the rest of it is clown money. And that's obviously not true either. Like, there are other serious ones, but like... But yeah, I feel like, I don't know if Elon's powerful enough to significantly manipulate the price of Bitcoin. I think obviously he could cause small dips and gains, but also if Tesla were trading Bitcoin at that level, it would be obvious. And so I don't think they're doing that. I really think that they just bought a bunch of it and are just holding it, which I think is, for me, I think that's fair. I mean, in the rules, in my opinion, in the absurdly broken rules of capitalism that we live under, that's fine. I don't like any of it, but
yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a lot of grossness in finance.
Yeah. Some would argue it's almost exclusively grossness.
Yeah.
I would probably be one of those people.
It's just that Musk happens to exist in the realm that we cover.
Yes, totally.
And,
I mean, he's fun to talk. He's a character. He's fun. Love him or hate him, he's fun to talk about. He's fun to think about.
Ugh. I really don't like the man.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm certainly not like an Elon Musk fanboy, but I don't. I see he's done a lot of interesting and, in my opinion, a lot of good things for society. In addition to a lot of annoying and a lot of damaging things to society. But I think long term, I think the good will probably outweigh the bad long term. I mean, what he's doing with SpaceX is like, people don't comprehend how game-changing that's going to be in 10, 20 years, I don't think. I mean, what he's done for the acceptance of electric vehicles is indisputable. And I don't want to put he doesn't deserve all the credit, obviously. It's like a lot of people have done all of these things, but he is the figurehead. So I respect him for that stuff, but I very much don't respect when he calls, random people names on Twitter. And, like, that's insane. You shouldn't do that. And you definitely shouldn't, play stupid games. I have much more of a problem with what he says about Tesla's stock price than what he says about Bitcoin. Just because, like, I hated that garbage he was doing. It was like, Tesla's going to 420 or whatever, and then it's like, Tesla's overvalued. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, you should not be speaking about this at all in any way, in my opinion. But, so I hate that.
And the SEC would agree with you.
Yes, yeah, for sure. But also, the SEC is spineless. I hate the SEC too. Those losers. They need to do their jobs, but they never will. They never will, because the whole system's broken. But that's an entirely different conversation.
Also, Warrior Girl, sorry we haven't paid super close attention to the chat. I did see your comment, and I was going to interject at some point, that I did hear about the Ford SVT Thunder concept. I'm guessing that you probably watched the Donut Media video on that, which I also watched, I think, like, last night. Which I didn't know about it. It was really cool. So, like, quick sum up. So the Ford SVT F-150 Lightning from the late 90s, early 2000s, which had a supercharged, I think, 5.4 liter V8. Basically, like, before Raptor, Ford had a hot rod street designed pickup truck. And the SVT team figured, hey, the Ford Expedition SUV is like almost the same thing. What if we throw all the Lightning parts in the Expedition, see how that works, and maybe we can sell that too? And they called it Thunder. And it was cool, it went over well, but as the Donut Media video goes on to explain, it didn't go into production basically because when they developed it, the Expedition only had like 2 years left of production of that generation. And so, like, if they were gonna do a new version of an Expedition SVT, it would have to be on the new platform, and that would require a whole bunch more engineering and stuff and a lot more cost. And so basically it just didn't make sense to try and release the special edition of an SUV that was almost out of production. Which, I mean, makes sense. It's a little disappointing, but it makes sense. But they did build at least one concept, and it was pretty cool.
Very cool. Sorry, I just got... I've gotten some strange text messages during the stream. I got one from my landlord, and then I just got one from an old coworker of mine who I haven't talked to in years. Literally. He just sent me a text. Super weird. I apologize, Warrior Girl. That was a super interesting conversation we were having, so I wasn't checking the chat too much. And also, I'm really bad at this game, so I'm trying to focus. But I do remember, I think my mom asked, do we have any theories as to what is going to be, is there going to be a large difference in price between the electric F-150 and the electric Silverado, do you think? And if so, which one do you think is going to be cheaper?
Not a clue.
Yeah. Figured that would be the case for now. But
yeah, we don't know enough about either of them to have any idea how much either is going to cost.
Is there a big price difference just between the normal F-150 and Silverado? Do you know offhand?
Offhand, I'm not sure. I can't imagine it's much of a difference.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Probably similar.
Before I look it up, I'm gonna guess that the F-150 is actually probably a little cheaper.
That would be my guess as well, actually. I don't know why, but I feel it in my bones.
Like, I've noticed that Chevys tend to be priced a little high right out of the gate. Oh, wow, they're almost dead even starting price.
Wow, okay.
Basically, they're both like $29,000.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I would have expected they would both be a little bit more than that.
Well, I doubt you're ever gonna find one for that base price on any dealer lot.
Man, vehicles are too... I mean, everything in the world is too expensive right now. But vehicles are up there. Vehicles are so crazy expensive.
Yeah, we were actually... One of our stories today is about Chevy is dropping the 1LE performance package for the V6 and 4-cylinder Chevy Camaros. And it's a bummer because they were neat cars. It was neat to see kind of the more affordable, less powerful versions of the Camaro get some performance package love. And they were fun to drive. Apparently, the reasoning is that the kind of budget-oriented V8 version of the Camaro is selling really well, and so they're ditching the 1LE V6 and 4-cylinder to open up capacity for Camaro LT1. But yes, John has helpfully added the link to the chat.
Thank you, John.
And the thing is, while it was nice to see those more affordable cars get those packages, it was hard to call them especially affordable because they started at like just a little over $30,000.
Jeez.
I saw your reaction. That was...
Dude, I'm so bad at this game.
But yeah, the thing about these cars is that you couldn't really get them for under $30,000, and whereas like a true like base 4-cylinder Camaro without the package you could get for like around $25,000. One of the things that I always kind of thought would make more sense is instead of making that performance package a special model, like a special trim level, I felt like it would make more sense if they would sell that package as like a dealer installed accessory thing.
Yeah.
And that way, like someone on a tighter budget could come in, buy the car, and then maybe like a year or like 2 years later come back when they've like saved up a little cash, buy the performance package and upgrade it. Or they could buy a used Camaro from like that dealership, and instead of none of the money going to GM for the car, that person could buy the dealer package, have it installed on their used Camaro, and like that's some money going into GM's pockets on a used car.
Right.
And then the customer is saving money all around. Like, I don't know. I just always felt like that would maybe even be a better possibility than... I was about to say that's pit lane.
Yeah. I'm so bad.
I kind of thought that made more sense for like the entry-level cars than like a special trim package.
I mean, yeah, the way you just described it seems that way. Dude, I want to throw my controller through my television screen right now. Oh my gosh.
I really like this canyon track.
I do
really
too.
pretty.
That's why I never seen this one. I wanted to see what it's all about. Yeah, this one's super cool. Oh my god. I just wish there was more stuff to do in this game, because at this point, I'm gonna lose my mind, and there's 20 minutes left in the stream, and I don't know what to do, because I've done as good as I can do in the first 2 circuits. There's no way I'm ever gonna be able to finish the last 3. I guess I'll keep trying the 3rd one. Hoagie's been rage quitting in Rocket League lately. We did Rocket League last week, Hoagie. I'm a little out of practice. I will admit I've not been playing as much Rocket League as I was, but I want to get back into it. I don't want to. I want to be at least champ before that game dies in like 2 or 3 years. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they keep improving it and it continues on forever. But I mean, it's been around for a long time already. I feel like they can only keep the hype up for so long.
I can't imagine Rocket League is going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess maybe we're just in like a new era of like esport games that they can last forever. Like games as a service can last for years and years and years.
Because I mean, as long as it's getting consistent support.
Yeah. And just the core mechanics are just like perfect. I mean, literally perfect. Like you couldn't ask for anything better in terms of like mechanically.
So Warrior Girl, why do you prefer the 350Z to the 370Z? Well, just like thinking of games being supported. So Onrush was one of my favorite racing games that I played in the last few years. And probably for 2 to 3 years, I played it on almost a daily basis. But I finally kind of fell out of it. In part because they hadn't added any more tracks or vehicles for a while. And so it was kind of starting to get a little bit samey, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play this as much. And I kept missing the like competitive seasons where you play for rank. And anytime that there wasn't competitive play, the servers were really empty.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
And like it would pick back up during competitive seasons, but otherwise it was pretty empty, which at that point I was like, can we just like always leave it in competitive mode?
Right.
Because that's when people are playing.
Right.
But yeah, so I eventually fell out of it, and it was mainly just because it hasn't really been supported, so there hasn't really been a lot of reason to come back to it.
Yeah.
And it's been a bummer because it's a really, really, really good racing game. It is still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I just haven't had a reason to come back to it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. I've had a lot of fun with that game the times I've played. But yeah, the only reason I kind of started, I haven't been playing as much Rocket League is because I just unlocked something within myself and finally stopped sucking so much at Call of Duty. And so I was like, oh, wait a minute, like...
Eric got good.
Yeah! Like, I should... So, as soon as that happened, just because it was so rare for me, I was like, I gotta keep the streak of me not sucking at Call of Duty for as long as possible. And then, that was like 3 weeks of, like, I just only ever started up Call of Duty. At least when I'm playing a multiplayer game.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Okay.
Since this is kind of related to esports stuff. What do you think of Fortnite, like, absorbing every piece of pop culture reference on the planet to be added to its compendium?
Lore. Yeah, I think it's great. I am a huge fan of that. It reminds me of, like, I mean, some of my favorite things from when I was younger were, like, the things that unnecessarily, like, and this is kind of topical, but, like, Space Jam was so cool. Like, anything that brought multiple properties together, I've always kind of been a sucker for. And it's like, none of that stuff is, like, canon in the respective... like, none of the stuff, like, with Marvel characters is, like, canon or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's great. I think Fortnite should go as bonkers as possible. And I think it's good for any time something like Fortnite can make stuff like that happen. It opens the door for less rights issues for other things. And I think across the board, brands are so overly precious with their IPs, and it's so annoying. And the fact that Fortnite is just so monster enough to break that down, that makes it a little easier for the next guy who's a little smaller to break down those ridiculous, IP issues where it's just... Yeah, so I like it. I think it's fun. I have not personally, like, I don't understand the storyline of Fortnite at all. I'm not sure if many people do nowadays. It seems insane. But
I'm always amazed that there is apparently a story and lore. I'm like,
yeah.
How?
Yeah, that is, like, Galactus is a part of somehow. It's like...
Well, you think that's crazy. One of their most recent characters they're adding is the Stonks meme guy.
I saw that! It's so ridiculous. Yeah, I like... Oh, I know! Super Smash Bros. Is another one I was thinking of. Like, I love... Yeah, I like that stuff. I like when you can just... Because there is more than one kid out there who is absolutely obsessed with every property in Fortnite, and is just like... Fortnite is just like the greatest dream game of all time to them. And so that's... that is super cool to me. I would have liked to have something like that when I was younger, just for all the nerd stuff that I like.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've made some good points, and I think I agree with most of that. And like, in a lot of ways, I do kind of see it as sort of like if you were playing with like your action figures as a kid, and like
definitely, totally,
you would like blend like Star Wars and Marvel action figures together for like grand adventures and things.
Yeah.
Now, I think it was interesting that you brought up Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just noticed that you quit. I saw that rack. I was like, yeah, that's not going to go over well.
I realized I should have pit, and I missed it, so...
Now, I do think it's interesting that you brought up Smash Brothers, because this is something that I've seen discussed a couple of places, and it's one of the things that I feel kind of weird about, because I think it was a Kotaku article I was reading about how there are now some Street Fighter characters in Fortnite, but talking about how extremely strange and slightly disconcerting it is to see Street Fighter characters carrying guns and shooting people. And how it feels very much out of character for those characters. And kind of bringing up how one of the things that's kind of special and neat about how Smash Brothers does crossovers is that those characters' abilities from like the game that they're from carry over and are still a part of this new game that they're in. Like, you have Shoryukens and Hadoukens and stuff from from Ryu.
Yep.
That are just as effective as like Samus's arm cannon. and just kind of interesting the design difference in how Fortnite it's basically a skin that's kind of dropped into the existing game, whereas like Smash Brothers sort of like brings the entire character into the game.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I 100% agree. I just think it's just different strategies. Like, Fortnite moves at a much faster clip than Smash Bros. Does in terms of introducing new content. So, like, they can't, I don't think they could do that, but they would take as long as Smash Bros. Does to introduce a new character or a new skin.
Right, and that's fair, because Smash Brothers has to, like, figure out how these different moves are going to be animated, and how they're going to be balanced against all the other characters, and...
Very fun fact, actually. I loved learning this. So when they brought in Steve from Minecraft, they had to basically recreate every single map in that game to make it mineable for Steve, which is mind-blowing to me that they put that effort in.
That sounds like such a nightmare.
I know, but it's like... But yeah, no, totally. It's like... Smash Bros. is special in terms of the attention it pays to detail and quality. But also, like the people... Like the Kotaku writer who... I guess I didn't read the article. I don't know. I assume he was writing it in an annoyed way. That it's weird that that you see these Street Fighter characters running around with guns.
Well, and I don't know that he was like totally annoyed, but I think it was just like, this is a very strange thing, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it.
Gotcha. I guess it's like that's the generation that plays Fortnite is not gonna have that connotation and is not gonna care. They're just gonna be like, oh, I know this character. This is awesome. And they're gonna pick up that character, but like our generation, and I assume the Kotaku writers' generation, is like we have that connection to Street Fighter, so it's like it's extra weird to us. But I don't think the younger generation would care or even really notice. I think to them it's just like a cool new property to use.
I mean, I think it was mostly just sort of a conversation starter type article, like, oh, this is an interesting thing to talk about and consider.
True, yeah. No, it is, totally.
And, like, as kind of another example of sort of using, like, famous characters, like, the Mortal Kombat games have a whole bunch of, like, horror and action movie characters now.
Yes, yeah! Oh man, I can't wait for that movie in a couple weeks. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this actually looks like it could be kind of good.
yeah, I'm stoked.
And even if it's not good, it looks like at least the action parts are going to be really cool.
Yes, totally.
And really, that's all you really need in a Mortal Kombat movie, I think.
Yeah, you show me Sub-Zero turning an opponent's blood into a dagger, and then stabbing that opponent again.
That was so cool.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's next level action.
Yeah, because I saw that in the trailer. I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty cool.
Yes.
I want to see more.
For sure. Wow, this guy's about to lap me. I did give up for like a good 20 seconds, but...
Okay, so catching up a little bit on chat. Yeah, sorry, Warrior Girl. I saw your explanations for why you prefer the 350Z. I will say, I think you may be overestimating how much more technologically advanced the 370Z might be. It's not. It really isn't. It's basically a slightly higher displacement 350Z with new styling. I sure wouldn't be afraid of it. But I think I do agree with you. I think the 350Z does have a more unique and interesting design than the 370. Because I think the 370 adopts a little bit more kind of rail that is a little bit less unique. I think they both look pretty nice. Yeah, Warrior also says... Yeah, I agree. I don't think the 370 looks quite as nice as the 350. Warrior also says the Legacy Edition 350Z with GTR engine would be cool. It would. I don't necessarily see that happening, but I think the new Z that's going to come out, which, plug in another story,
Yeah.
a leaked photo came out of the new Nissan Z interior with a crazy bright blue interior that I'm really excited about. But I think the new Z is going to be really cool. It's expected to... Why are you running over the poor pit crews?
Dude, because I'm over this game. I'm just trying to burn time for 8 minutes so I can forget about this game for another month. I'm so annoyed at how bad I am at it.
I like the animations of them getting out of the way.
I know.
But the other thing with the new Z is that it's supposed to get the twin-turbo 3-liter V6 from the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport. So that'll be 400 horsepower. And it'll be available with a manual transmission, which is really, really cool. And from all the leaked photos we've seen so far, it looks exactly like the Z Proto concept, which we think looks awesome. So it seems like it's like a win-win situation all around for the new Z.
What were your thoughts, Joel, on the Jeep Magneto concept?
I am super pumped for it.
Okay. Are you not offended that they used the name Magneto and didn't even kind of use the color scheme of the X-Men character Magneto? Because I'm pretty annoyed by that.
Because, A, I wouldn't want to wrangle with Disney and Marvel over licensing.
Do you think they didn't have to use the name, though?
No, because here's the thing. A Magneto is an actual thing that existed before the Marvel character.
What? What is a Magneto?
So a Magneto generates electricity. It's sort of like it's like a generator. Let's see. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, it's basically an electric generator.
Wow.
Just a little one. So that's where the name comes from. There are like old motorcycles and stuff. And I'm talking like really quite old. Would run off of a Magneto to produce like the spark and stuff for the bike. And it didn't have a battery or like a starter, and that's basically where the Magneto comes in. Like you kickstart it, and once it was going, it produced the electricity it needed.
Yeah.
So.
All right, fair. I was not a fan. I just said I feel like it's like the silver and blue kind of. I don't know. It struck me as here's a deep nerd cut that probably no one will understand this reference, but it reminded me of the Yu-Gi-Oh card Blue Eyes White Dragon. And
no, I get that.
Okay, nice. I love it.
I think you're underestimating how many people watched Yu-Gi-Oh.
I might be. I always felt like Yu-Gi-Oh was not very popular, but maybe it was. I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I had a bunch of cards.
Seto Kaiba's go-to monster.
Yes!
No, my brother and I watched it all the time when we were kids.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan. And I guess still am. I got nothing against it. I just haven't... That is an anime I have not gone back to. Just because I feel like that one's more specifically targeted towards kids. I'm not sure if I would be as into that one as an adult as I am some other anime.
Yeah, so I went back last year and watched like the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, no
because
way.
because I had never like actually watched it all the way to the very end.
Yeah. Was
Just
it worth
because just because I would miss like when the cycle restarted or something, and then get stuck back watching the old ones again.
Yep. Totally.
Back in the days when you couldn't stream stuff and you had to watch it on like Kids WB or on like Saturdays and after school.
Yeah.
Because we old.
Oh, hold on. I gotta. No, Hoagie, you're so wrong. I could not disagree more. I think I think like purple and red on a Jeep would look sick if they did it right. Throw some like lightning bolts on there.
Oh, but rewatching it, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's actually a very good show.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
But I wanted to know how it like all wrapped up.
Yeah, totally.
There are moments that are good. And actually, I think the characters are actually pretty good. But boy, there's a lot of it that's just not very good. Like really awkward and kind of dumb dialogue and stuff. Granted, this is the American dub version.
Yes. And this is before they took American dubs seriously. Right.
And I've heard that the original Japanese releases are better and more interesting and intense.
Yeah. Dude, the one thing I remember from Yu-Gi-Oh is it's time to duel.
Yep.
And I don't know why there's the stutter there.
Well, it's not a stutter. It's
it's part of
like
the theme song, right? Yeah. But that just seems so like why even put that in a song? It's just so unnecessary. But I guess it was necessary because it's stuck in my brain for probably 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
So I guess good job there. But man, okay, it's 4 o'clock. I can finally stop beating my head up against the wall with this game. I do like it though. I'm just bad at it, and there's not, I've done all the stuff that I can like reasonably do. So, FYI, if anybody's interested in this game, it is good. I enjoy it a lot, but I just gotta get good. I've just gotta get good. But Joel, do you have anything that you would like to leave us with as we wrap up here?
I think I've actually shouted out a lot of the stuff from today. We've got a Mitsubishi Outlander review up, as well as a Mustang Mach 1 review. There's a proposed Cybertruck camper that we didn't talk about. That, I mean, the rendering is neat, but like, it can't be anywhere close to production because A, the truck isn't ready for production.
Yeah, right.
We haven't seen the production one. There's no way there's any kind of CAD models or information out there for them to start prototyping something.
Yeah.
Like, it's so far into the future, it's like, it definitely doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And like, it's going to be a while before they can even like start actually prototyping something.
Yeah.
But hey, like everything else on the internet that is potentially cool and futuristic, you can put a deposit down.
Hey, there we go.
Because of course you can. literally 2 of us, when the editor that was checking out the product saw that they were accepting deposits and told us, 2 of us at the exact same time said, of course they are.
Why not? May get that money. Capitalism, baby!
Yep.
Oh, man.
We're selling a thing that doesn't even exist yet.
Yes.
It's even worse than video game pre-orders.
Yes it is. Yes it is. Oh, man.
But the design is neat. You can check that out on our site. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it for the hot stuff today.
Nice. Good stuff. Well, thank you for joining, Joel. And thank you for watching chat. I know it was kind of light on the chat interaction today, but we had some good conversations going. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is the Autoblog live stream. We do this every week, every Tuesday, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock Eastern Time. It's the official live stream of Autoblog.com, the website we've been talking about all stream. That's where you can find all the information on all the cool car stuff we've been talking about. And actually, John, who is Autoblog's green editor, has been dropping links into the chat as well. So thank you, John, for doing that.
Go buy that Dogecoin, Hoagie.
Yeah, Doge to the moon.
And thank you for the nice message, Warrior Girl.
Yes, yeah, thank you. And I'm so ridiculously glad to hear that things are going well, Warrior Girl. And I'm glad you popped in. Yeah, so that is great news. And I lost my. I'm so on autopilot for these outros that like if I lose my spot, it screws up everything. Okay, so yep, Autoblog.com. So website, check that out if you're interested in cars. We have automotive news and reviews, and all kinds of cool stuff on the website. We're on social media. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you're on TikTok, we are killing the TikTok game. So check out our TikTok. Super easy to find. Search for Autoblog. We have a podcast. It's called the Autoblog Podcast. Comes out every week. We also have, you can find it wherever you find your podcast. It's called the Autoblog Daily Digest. What it is every day a new one comes out. And it's just like a couple minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes of just the car news of the day. Just if you want to stay up to date but you don't have a lot of time, it's just called the Autoblog Daily Digest. If you have a smart speaker, you can just ask it to read you the Autoblog Daily Digest, and it will. So if you're interested in that, check that out. We have a merch store that is at redbubble.com/people/autoblog, or you can search for Autoblog on redbubble.com, or you can go to the link in our Twitch bio, and we've got all kinds of stuff on the merch store, from like t-shirts and coffee mugs, and like jigsaw puzzles, face masks, all kinds of cool stuff on the merch store, so check that out as well. Oh, I forgot to wow, Hoagie, wow. I was literally just about to say I forgot to mention it as well. If you're still watching the outro, first of all, you're a legend. But second of all, yeah, if you haven't followed our Twitch or subscribed to our YouTube, please consider doing that if you enjoyed this. On our YouTube specifically, we have all kinds of car videos. So if you like watching videos about cars, the Autoblog YouTube is the place to be. And Hoagie dropped a link. Thank you very much, Hoagie. That is very appreciated. And then last but not least, I always like to end these by saying, if you have a charity or nonprofit organization or something that you support, consider donating to that organization or donating some time. Just try to make the world a better place. Just if you can do it like once a month, even for like an hour or two, that really adds up over time. So I just like to encourage everyone to do that. So thank you for watching, everyone. And we will see you next week, same time, same place, Tuesday, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good one.